Let me check in here. We're gonna do some artwork today. Let me check in to make sure that I'm coming through clearly. I've got some posting to do. I'm gonna do a quick intro. If you're catching this in the future, you can skip ahead a minute after the bump, and we'll get started here. Quick intro. If you're catching this in the future, you can skip ahead a minute. Yeah, okay, that sounds pretty good. I can drop that volume down there. You can let that sit. Okay, cool. I'm going to grab this link here. I've got some real fast social media posts to do, and then we're going to start getting into some artwork today. So for those that aren't familiar, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. I publish online, and I've been creating content for Dungeons & Dragons, publishing on DMsGuild.com since 2018. I've been an Eberron enthusiast since 2004. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999, and I've been involved in the D&D as a hobby since 1987. So Eberron is my favorite campaign setting. I've never created an adventure from scratch for publication, nor have I actually published anything involving Eberron, so I'm making an Eberron adventure to resolve, to scratch both those off my bucket list. So if you think artwork today is fun and cool, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Here's a stack of books I've already made that have all my artwork in them and a lot of my ideas about D&D and game design and the 5e game engine. You can click on these links and check out the free previews if you'd like. Discord channel for folks that want to get involved and play testing and check out my stuff. Thanks for any support. I really appreciate y'all. So let me drop this down here to the bottom, and here we are in Photoshop. This is the book cover that we've created for the adventure, Crystals of Mabar. It's for 7th and 8th level characters. We're fighting undead, necromancers, and demons in the Carnwood on the continent of Corvair. We're working on this forest illustration right now. I don't like how when you look at it at a distance, it just looks like pixels. It just looks like dots, and that's not how I want this to sit. So I need to mess around here. This is the layer right here that I need to mess around in. I need to grab a different textured brush and add some texture variants inside here. And I'm going to go with the let's go with the conifer foliage brush. That's a well-titled. The title infers a lot, so let's grab a darkish color like this and match. See how it's saturation. It looks pretty good actually. I bet that's going to be good. So we'll drop this down here, and I'm just going to dot in a little bit of this like that. That is way too light. Eraser. I want to use the same brush for an eraser. Like that. Thank you. I'm going to use a lighter, like a 30%, maybe 20%. Yeah, 30% eraser, just to chop away at this a little bit. To get a little bit more variance in the type of pixelation we have going on here in the background. That feels pretty good. Oh, dip. That's pretty good. Looking good. Okay, I'm just gonna pepper this for a little bit here until I'm happy with it. And we'll pepper a little bit over. A bit over here. Just to break it up a little bit. There. And once I finish this end, we're going to start working on the foreground. We have a druid and a divining well to illustrate. And then I'll flesh out the piece, and then we'll move on to something else. This is taking me long. Yet again, this piece is taking me longer than I expected it to. I do not lament the time. I'm enjoying the journey. So all the stuff that I do always ends up taking longer than I wanted it to. And that's just that's just how it is. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I love painting. I can't hate it. How could I ever hate you? Splash some extra texture in here. It's just the texture. It's just the noise that I need. It's just noise. There we go. And then I want to put another one, I think, here. And it's just a little bit into the foreground. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, let's do like that. I can erase at that a little bit. Good morning, people. Yeah, it's just dusting it in here. I'm using the same eraser, the same brush for the eraser as the paint, so that as I erase it, it has layers of the same shape. So the foliage thickens with layers of opacity. It's a pretty common trick of mine to use dark foreground. That's like almost out of the lighting of the scene, to help create just natural frames around the more central area. Let's add in another color here, like that. It's the same as Bob Ross, except that I have the because this is a Photoshop, is a digital tool, I have the ability to remove color the same as I can add color. So that allows me to I don't have the same flexibility and techniques that Bob Ross has, because his hairbrush has 10,000 horsehairs, and he has infinite flexibility with his wrist and pressure and distancing, that he can make a much wider variety of shapes just off of the tool that he's using with his just through manual dexterity. But brushes in Photoshop are fixed shapes. So for me to be able to simulate the effects that Bob can create on a wet-on-wet canvas using these techniques, I have to add and subtract, create a brush that looks good when it's replicated in pattern without looking too much like a brush. And using both adding and erasing the color with the same type of brush creates an interesting layer effect like this. See how that's all blending? See how much better that is now? Here, let's get rid of these things. This is where we were at with a bunch of pixelation here, right? It's just a scatter. It just looks like stippling. But when we add in the extra foliage, we start to get shapes on top of that stippling. And then layer over again. Zoom out. So now all this looks like active foliage going on in the tree. And it resolves the stippling problem that we had. Just got a little bit more over here. I'm going to drop the opacity down on the brush just so I can tap this stuff in a little bit like this. Erase down here. Just fleshing out some pockets. The angle of the brush here is that I can make circles with it, and it makes sense. So that's a good curve. I mean, it has like all these little bumps and stuff, like this little inset, like these little spokes and stuff that slide in. But that feels more natural. But I can create a natural curve with this brush, and I can also, if I wanted to, depending on what the piece needs, I can flatten it out. So it's a broader circle. And these tools, if you're a Photoshop enthusiast yourself, and if you want these, my Patreon link is down below. You can they're currently free, and the brushes that I use, they're free till the end of the year, and then I'm going to put them behind a $1 paywall. So in the future, if you're interested, grab them now, and in the future they'll be worth $1. So to me, they're worth a lot more than $1. I put a year of time in learning how to paint like this, and it has done nothing but pay me dividends. And you've seen multiple paintings that I've produced during the course of this adventure and other books that I've made over the past couple of years, utilizing this technique. So, yeah, if you're into this sort of stuff, I don't like that line. I dragged it a little bit instead of stippling. There we go. If you're into this type of stuff, it's super easy to do. It's most akin. I think it's the most like what's the word I'm trying to use? Like Japanese ink prints, like the little block, like the wooden blocks that they have carved out into shapes that they'll dip into ink of different colors, and they'll tap on the rice paper, and it leaves a stipple print. It's block printing basically. Oh god, that feels so much better. Yeah, I just breathed a little bit of life into it. It really needed it. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think I can let that sit. Next thing we need to do is add in our druid. Now keep in mind, this is a page in a book with text on it. So this is the actual area that has text in it, and this is the text. So those that aren't familiar already, this is the 16:9 format that we have on our monitor here. This PDF is designed to, Photoshop doesn't fit it very well manually, but when it's a PDF, if you click full screen, fit to size, this is roughly what it would look like. And so this is a 16:9, and so it fits on your devices horizontally like this, page by page. But it also, each column is 16:9. So in an actual PDF, when you flip it up like this, you can just look at one column at a time. And it's a 16-point font that we're using, so it's super easy to read. I love this format, and I suspect I'm going to be using this format again in the future. The books I make, they're PDFs. I don't intend for them to be printed, which means I don't have to, I can build the document to fit the medium that is going to be viewed through. So I can do different page sizes depending on what the device needs. Like if I was doing Kindles, I would figure out what the exact page size of a Kindle is, and then I would build with the font and the format and all the blood. Anyway, I would format the book to fit that. But since I intend for this to be used on a tablet, behind a DM screen if you're playing in Flesh, or either on a side monitor or as a flip tab to be able to get to easily. Yeah, or the way I have things set up here now, I could you can see my screen environment here, right? And I'm over here on the left hand side, and and Photoshop is over here on the right. I could take this document and have just one column overlapping where my face is at right now, this left-hand edge here. This could be just one column in the adventure, and I can just look through the adventure by scrolling sideways one column at a time, and then flipping to the next page and then looking at one column at a time. It has a lot of flexibility. It doesn't have to take up a lot of space on the screen, but it has a large font, so it's easy visibility. Anyway, that's me. That's just, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this particular format, and it's really exciting because the DMsGuild website had been updated recently. They're doing this testing on the website, and the 16, this is like 10 inches by 17 inches in size, and the previews that they have on the DMsGuild accommodate that size now. I don't have to do any funky like sideways or weird formatting. It'll just grab it as I intended it to be built like this, and it'll throw it up on our preview exactly the same way. So I am super excited about, I'm really excited about getting this published. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, Steve, it's good to see you, my guy. So let's, yeah, I guess we're going to get back into it. So we're going to do some, let's see, we're working on Solga right now. This is a druid of the gatekeeping circle. So this sect of druids are in charge of making sure the universe doesn't destroy the world. Planar alignments occur in the Eberron campaign setting that can. Yeah, there's nothing here. Good. And then here's my background color. I'm thinking things through here real quick. Hold on. Got it. Okay. Go here, and I want to switch back to the round brush. E. B. There we go. Just gonna start filling in some color in here. Just darkness ensues. I'm probably going to work on this illustration now that the forest part is done. The forest part was the more interesting part for me. The druid in the foreground, yeah, that's contextual. It's important, but it's not as exciting to me. So I'm probably going to actually end up finishing this piece off screen and probably firing up another illustration. Maybe I might come through and work on this a little bit more tomorrow. But I feel like I want to switch gears and start on something new, and then I'll finish this character in this well here off screen. And once I do, if there's anything else I want to fuck around with it, I'll come back in a couple days and finish up the piece. But I'm pretty happy. I like the forest a lot, and I wanted the forest as a standalone piece, and I'm pretty content with it. It's pretty empty in the middle because, you know, point of interest is technically the druid, but I like the forest that I've done in general, so I'm pretty content with that, and I think I'm okay with walking away from it. Yeah, we'll see how things shake out. I'm not 100% on what the next piece I want to work on. I just know that I want to switch it up and do something different here on stream. Yo, hey, what's up, Defected? It's good to see you, my guy. Erase. I am running out of art to do in this piece. There's a couple monsters that I built that I think I want to. Sorry, start over. There's a few monster tokens that are missing that I didn't pick up on the first round of doing monster tokens. So I'll probably. Maybe I'll work on that tomorrow. Maybe I'll work on. I've been working on monster tokens off screen while I've been working on this forest in the mornings here with you guys. But now that the forest is done and the druid isn't as interesting, I think I'm just gonna do some. I think I'll do monster tokens tomorrow. I want to redo the Yugoloth token. There's a blood golem that I need to illustrate. And a wraith and a specter. So just some undead creatures, some incorporeal stuff. It should be a lot of fun, but it needs to get done. And I was thinking to myself while I was working on it last night, I was like, this would be a lot of fun for me just to do on screen because it's monster art. That's a lot of fun. And so I'm gonna follow through with that. So this will be the last day that I'm working on this particular piece here. And if you know. If something says this would be fun to demonstrate, to have on screen, then I'll come back and I'll work on it some more. But I don't think there's anything here that's going to require that. I'm just going to keep filling this out here just for thoroughness. Let's get down here into the depths of this. Hey, thank you, Timely Timer. Really want to blacken this up in here. But yeah, we're running out of illustrations to do. And once the illustrations are all done, then we assemble the book and then we publish it. So I will be. I'm after I finish this piece. I think, yeah. So we'll start working on the remaining monster token art here in the morning, starting tomorrow, and I'll finish this piece off screen in the evening, starting tonight. And once I get this piece done off screen, I think I can actually start doing pre-assembly work, like doing all the hyperlinking and stressing up the background and starting to lay in image blocks and yeah, getting the thing ready. It's I think it's time. I think that's where we're at. Oh man, I've literally I started working on this 4 years ago when it was an idea to do it, and then it took a year for us to build it, and then started playtesting it. Playtesting took about, I say, 8 months. And once we finished the playtesting, I paused and created the Spelljammer document that I have on DMsGuild. It's linked down below. But Spelljammer was on my bucket list of things that I absolutely wanted to do. Like one of the reasons I was so excited about the DMsGuild in the first place is because as a kid, in my teens, when Spelljammer came out in '89. I was obsessed with Spelljammer. It was super fucking cool. Spelljammer and Planescape. And so if there was anything that I could do, it would have been Spelljammer and Planescape. Like if I had the opportunity to be involved in any type of D&D projects or whatever, me as a little kid dreaming of working with TSR at the time. If there was anything I could have done, it would have been Spelljammer and Planescape. And now that they've officially blended in Astral Sea with Spelljammer, it's kind of the same thing. So when they announced Spelljammer was going to happen, and then therefore it was going to be available for us to use on the DMsGuild, I had to switch gears. I put this project on hold for a year, basically, and built out the Spelljammer book and published that, and then got back to work on this. So I started this project 4 years ago, but I've actually been working on it only for 3, so that's reasonable, right? But I've been playtesting other things and building other books alongside this one, so that once this is done, we can push everything that's on my workbench forward and start working on that stuff with the same fervor that we've had for this Eberron adventure. And I love having built this adventure. I love how much it taught me. I love the adventure itself. I'm seriously considering running a Martial Powers campaign. Using this adventure for the format, it's something that I'm seriously considering. Like on Saturday morning, I'm doing Martial Power updates. We normally do Martial Power playtesting on Saturdays, but yeah, like I said, I'm really thinking about firing up another Martial Powers campaign, having characters, having everyone build 8th level characters, and just run through this thing with me. I'd want a stable team of I'd want a stable team of 4 people if I were to do that. Like people that could assure me, like unless unusual circumstances arose, that they would be butts in seats on Saturday mornings, and I would run this for maybe 5 or 6 weeks. It's starting to feel a lot better. Hey, what's up? Oh man, there's a lot of text going on. I've been ignoring you. Sorry. Yeah, isn't that great? I love that. I love that Wolf chess piece as well. Thank you. It's super fun. You can do stock art draw. I have to get my new asset pack. Oh, right on, my guy. I'm trying to force myself to finish one project before working on another. I'm going to get Spotify. I'm going to get Shopify set up this weekend. I have a pixel art tutorial video edited that I made a few days ago, but I need to fix the audio. Oh, right on, man. More power to you, my buddy. Yeah, I have enough hours accumulated and enough audience on YouTube that if I set up Shopify, I could start loading this artwork that I'm in as stock art for people to pick up. What I want to do, what I will do, is have my Patreon set up so as long as you purchase $1, like as long as you're a $1 subscriber, you'll have the right to use my stock art and as much stuff as you want while you remain. Like a subscription, basically. Give me $1 a month, and any stock art you buy from me, you can put into as many books as you want. So I know there's a couple different, like I think Dyson and there's a few like Fred Hurst. Is it Fred Horsley? Anyway, I know there's a number of really good artists that's how they work their stock art. You buy stock art, and then you can Patreon for $1 to have licensing rights. And if you have higher Patreon, you can accumulate points to acquire stock art. Like a quarter page is 1 point, a full page is 4 points, and like you accumulate 1 point per $5. So if you're a $20 subscriber, you can get a full page worth of stock art each month for whatever you need. I'd need obviously a shitload more stock art for me to make that a really viable model. But once I get Shopify set up, what I can do with Shopify once it's set up is when I finish a piece, I can load up the stock art. It's like, hey, we finished that piece. You can go grab it if you like it. So when you publish a book on DMsGuild, the way that the mechanics that what you write is technically published and owned by Wizards of the Coast, but they can't copyright and own ideas. So all the concepts and mechanics and stuff that I build for 5e, I love using the DMsGuild because I love the IP, like Spelljammer. I love the IP of Spelljammer. If I can actually put Spelljammer on a book that I'm writing and sell it, I'm 100% going to do that. I don't care that I have to give a portion of it to Wizards and that they own it, because I can take the same, like the scaling mechanics of changing sizes and using your action economy in the 5e game engine. That's a concept that I could just write differently and publish out on DriveThruRPG as my own independent game. Like if I wanted to make a Space Mecha 5e game, I have all the components already built, and most of it's already published on DMsGuild, but I can reframe it and reflavor it into a different world, and using different nouns and just expressing the mechanics with different words. I could reproduce the entire thing, and there's technically nothing they can do about it. That's A. And B, they don't own my art, so I can publish my art anywhere that I want. So I can sell it however I want, as well as include it in the books that I make. So to me, there's a lot of flexibility, and it's a lot of fun as just a massive fanboy to be able to do all this stuff. I'm going to start texturing the fur. So let's grab some highlights. See how scruffy looking that is? Let's go find a brush to use. Jesus, I want to say I actually used the foliage brush. But flattened. Let's go with that. Yep. I just can't publish. Yeah, I just can't publish it anywhere else. Now, once I publish on DMsGuild, that's the only place that can be. But just that particular iteration of that idea with that specific language. And I think that's fair. A lot of people are really angry about that, but I think I am the exact audience that Wizards was looking for when they made that a possibility, because my inner 16-year-old is just squee all over the place. It's like, yeah, I don't care if I'm like, this isn't my final form. This is practice. This is what I'm doing to learn I'm still learning how to build books and how to do things efficiently. And once I am, by that time, I'll be done. I'll be content with what I've done with Wizards of the Coast and their IPs, and then I'll start wanting to build my own. Like I want to build an elemental 5e game, like an Airbender sort of campaign using the elemental key system. Just change the language a little bit, scrape off the serial numbers, and it's a It's literally a perfectly functioning elemental magic system for 5e. And the martial power system, if I use that and Warlocks as the base chassis, I can trim down the number of powers, clean them up, change the language on those. And here, I want to keep. I need to, sorry, I'm having a texture issue. There we go. This is the same brush as I used up here in the foliage, but you can see I've flattened it out. You can't see behind there. See, I've flattened it out like this, so it's got all these little, come on, buddy. This has got all these little wiggly bits on them, and when I get into it, I'll be able to break those up and fuzz them down a little bit. But right now I'm just adding base texture to this right now. And again, using the same eraser as I'm using with the brush itself to have consistent texturing. And I can use a light opacity to help blend it in and fade it into shadow. It's super easy, but it looks really fucking good. like if I used if I used the same brush, but instead of spiky points, I used curved like really flat curved domes. It would be able to simulate suede. I'd be able to pull off suede. I haven't had a reason to do any suede shoes or anything like that, but I'll eventually need to. And I'll have to blend in the line art and stuff. We'll get to that. We'll get there. Right now we're just doing base texturing. And then I can turn the brush over and work along this inner edge here. Change the angle. Yeah, it's really good texturing. It's a really good. This is, again, it's when you understand the tools that you're using. This is for any program at all, and I know you know this, Defected. When you get comfortable with knowing how your tools work, like for years, all I used was a round brush, just a round hard brush. That's all I used to create everything that I did. And once I got good enough, where I was trying where can I improve? I was good enough to get paid, and so I'm looking for how can I improve this or improve my efficiency or make it look better. That's when I started to work on brushes, and because I learned the basics with just basically like a pencil or a pen effectively, I never relied on brushes to actually accomplish anything. So once I actually did start incorporating brushes into it, they aren't a crutch. They're a tool that helps me achieve the effect that I want more easily. It's not something I need. It's something that just makes my life easier. But I can do it all without any kind of brushes. It just takes a longer time. And I think that's something that a lot of people miss. They're like, "Well, man, that brush makes everything easy. I want art to be easy. I want those brushes." Like, no, you gotta sweat through it. The more you sweat through it, the more you're willing to take the pain, the better you are going to be able to utilize the tools that make your life easier. God, look at that. It's so easy. I love it. It's so good. Such good texturing. All right, now I can blend the line art into it and get after it. Nice, man. Kindred spirits. All right, there's texture. There's texture. there's that. Where am I at? Hands. Color. Where the hell is this? Where is this shit at? Am I going mad? Yes, I am. That's where the line art is at. Gooder. Open that up. Okay, I can't yet. I need to work on the hands. Hands. Got to work on the hands. And then we'll get the rest of that. Then we'll blend it in. So once I have the base. So here we did all this texturing and lighting, but that's over. Hold on, drop that in there. The line art here is separate from the base color that we're using. So I'm going to blend the line art into the base color to keep the line in place, but then it'll be underneath the texture. So when we add all this texture in here, let's drop it down here like that. See, it'll be more like that. So the line art will fade into and smudge into the color, so it just becomes folds and shadow. But I'm not there yet. I need to fix his hands. So let's drop the lighting here. I'm going to drop the opacity on that a bit, just to drop it. And let's see. Here's hands. What's up? Yeah, definitely. So let's grab some face color here. God, it's only 7 o'clock? Holy fuck. The divining pool I'm interested in doing. I'm not sure if I necessarily need to share it with you guys that I'm doing it, but I'm interested. It's a stump with water in it. Maybe I will work on that tomorrow. Let's switch back to round, our base round brush, and then our eraser. We'll go back to our straight hard round brush. Okay, hold on. If I'm going to have some sort of like divine light coming out of this, then the palms are going to be lighter. And then I'll have like some highlights here on the nose and along these rims here and his beard. I can add that later though. So let's just be consistent with ourselves. Let's just build the thing, and then we'll figure out the lighting. I can always just overlap lighting. That's never a difficulty. That's never a problem. 1, 2, 3. There's my timely timer. Holy crap, I'm hungry. It is ridiculous how hungry I get in the wintertime. It's because I don't have a lot of heat in the house. I think my body wants to burn calories to stay warm. And once we blend the line art in, it'll clean it up a little bit. That's pretty good though. That's a decent start. I'm happy with that. Not the greatest hands ever, but fuck off. They'll do what I need them to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll end up fucking around with these hands a little bit tonight. Not bad. Okay, let's let this sit. Let's see. Okay, so let's actually, how do I want to do this? My computer is, I'm going to hit save because Photoshop is acting clunky. I'm afraid it's going to be unstable, so I don't want it to crash on me. I'm going to duplicate this layer. Yeah, its response times. I probably have to restart my computer. I bet my computer wants to do an update or something. Drop it down to here. Let's grab the hands. There, and there. Tap, tap. Okay, I need to rethink my life here real quick. Okay, what I need to do is extract these hands. Do that. Take this and drop that down. Good. Let's take those and put these in a folder. And then here's the bust. We'll put that in its own folder. Fur, more fur, highlighting. There we go. This is where I want to be at. So I want to take this, this, and this, and I want to blend them all together. I'm going to drop the strength of the line art a little bit. You got fur texture over that. That'll look really good. I'm going to duplicate this group so that I have no regrets. I can then merge that group down. Now it's a single layer that I can cut through, and then the layering of the fur will sit on top of it. So cool. Okay, great. So here we are, and let me get the bust and the hands out of the way. Come on, tools. Thank you. I want to use the cloud brush. I'm gonna put her on 60%.
This is just me working the line art into the piece. You know what? I think what I want to do, I want to add all those elements back in, actually. I want to see how this is coming along. There, like that. I'm doing a little zigzag like this to break up the line to help match the fluff of the fur. There, like that. That fur texture comes alive because the see what I'm doing? I'm fuzzing and blurring like choppily the edges here. You can see that sits like that. So when we put the fur back in over it, it has like a wispiness behind it, like that tuftiness that you get. So you have the fur texture up front. And then the defining the silhouette of it is fuzzy, so it helps reinforce the idea that this is a fuzzy fur. Super simple technique, but God, it looks really fucking good. I mean, I'll pat myself on the back and break my arm while I'm at it. And then we'll fix the hands. Hands. That in. Like that. Doesn't take a lot. Doesn't require a lot. Well, the texturing does almost all the work for me. As long as I'm just following the laws of light and being consistent with my texturing, it does almost all of the work for me. Not bad. I need to clean up these claws. Some little nitty details here that caught my eye that I wanted to fuck around with here for a second. Good. And what's up? Hands are tricky. Get the bear claws in here. Wolf head, bear claws. Sculpt that into place. There we go. There. Sorry, I went quiet there for a minute. I was concentrating on claws. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. Scratch that into place. A lot of the techniques that I use is put a splot of ink on something, like put a splotch of color on somewhere and then smudge it around. Like I swear, I think my technique's more like finger painting than anything else. I like dropping dollops of color in and then pushing it into position. There's something about the organicness of like actually pushing the pixels into the place that I want instead of just. I know it's more efficient if I were to like have a perfect stroke, like a perfect pen stroke filling the space that I need or whatever. But there's something, I don't know. There's some sort of connection that I feel when I'm scraping color around on the page. I'm going to fade this. There. No, God, you don't owe me anything, man. You're just sticking around, and God bless you for it. No one owes me nothing. I just have, the occasional fits of silence. And I think I want a little bit of a highlight. There we go. Erase. That feels good. Stitch that up for now. And, well, we're back to hands, aren't we? No, I can do fur more. I can avoid the inevitable with fur for a little bit. Bloop. 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 What's up? I feel like I talk to... No, I'm talking to you all. I don't necessarily know how many people are hanging out here at any given time, but I honestly just yammer about whatever comes into my mind. Just wanted to darken up this little knot of shadow in here. Curve in here like that, and then shadow. Having the wolf mantle over the sleeves makes it really, really easy for me to do this stuff. God, that feels really good. And as many layers as I need. I like to have layer on top of layer on top of layer when I'm doing fur like this, so I can do these. And then by erasing some of it, it creates a really nice shag effect. And I just use stippling to fade it, so it's not too pronounced. It just works. Some light shag, super easy, barely an inconvenience. Do a little bit of the interior here. A little bit of shadow poking through here, just a little bit of texture. For anyone that goes looking for it can find it. It's the same brush as we use on the foliage, but it doesn't look like foliage at all because we're using a different technique. Same with the round brush. If you know how to use a round brush, you can produce anything that you want. Brushes, custom brushes are more specialized. I can't make a good-looking square with this brush, but if I know that I'm working on foliage, fur, scruffy, whatever, take your time with timer. There we go. It feels to talk to. Yeah, right on. I got no fucking complaints about that at all. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch this up here. Drop that into a folder. Keep that in. Let's drop that subfolder there. So that looks good now. Actually, it does look really good. I'm really pleased with that. The hands, even this hand looks like shit. This hand looks pretty good. And it's 726. So I'm gonna resolve this hand. Maybe be able to fix this hand. We'll see. Let's get after it. Pitter patter. Yeah, we'll drop down the opacity a little bit on the light on the line so it doesn't poke through so hard. I'm just gonna duplicate this layer and merge it down. I might just have to write this hand off over here as a loss. This hand, this foreground hand, this guy is good to go. So I'm gonna cut that off, drop it back in, and have that hand back there. What is going on with you, back of the world? Let's do something about that. Back to the round brush. Yeah, I don't need all that in my life. That's probably more realistic. Got a god-awful hand. Wait, what else do you got going on over here? Nothing. Delete. That's already a little bit better. I'm going to mess around with that later. Well, let's focus on the hand at hand. Hand on hand. Honestly, I think if you just stretch the fingers out a little more, minus the thumb, it would bring it back into perspective. But like I said, yeah. No, it'll sort itself out. I have no concern about that hand. It will resolve. Okay, I'm going to recant. I am going to work on this tomorrow because I think tomorrow morning we're going to finish it. And I love finishing pieces on screen. Because the wishing well is the only the wishing well, the divining pool is the only thing that we have left after this, and lighting effects. And I think we can pull that off in an hour and a half. I'll probably end up resolving his hand tonight just to make sure I get it resolved for tomorrow morning. Right now, I'm blending. You can see I'm blending the line art into the nails to help remove the line art, so it's not so comic booky. But also just to help shape the fingers in general. Go. That feels pretty good. Add in some line here to get that curve on the finger going. So the foreshortening looks right. a little bit of line is fine. Like sometimes there's just natural lines that occur on an organic shape. Just got to be aware of when it actually needs to be used. Like I can use a thin line here to help separate that nail from the background a little bit better. But lines can generally okay, so if it's foreground, if it's facing towards the camera, there's going to be light. Typically, there'll be light hitting it from that same direction that you're looking from. So you shouldn't have like a dark line in the foreground. You should use the contrast between the foreground image and the background to create the line, the separation between objects. At the back side of the illustration, you can afford to have line art because that's where your shadow starts to fall into black anyway. So the line art towards the back of the piece, away from the light, towards the shadow, helps define the shape in the background. You know, for the people out there that didn't go to art school, didn't spend stupid amounts of money on art college and didn't know that. Now you know that. I just saved you $50,000. Buy one of my books. It's good tuition. I got no complaints here. That feels pretty good. What's up? Since $0 on art school. Yeah, same here. I've spent a good chunk of change on art books. Figure drawing and landscape and mecha books and like how to draw anime and all sorts of books over the years. I did go to I went to University of Missouri Columbia. It's most famous for its journalism, but I went there to get away from my parents. I was pretty much trapped on a ranch. Prior to that, I didn't have any mobility. We were out in the middle of nowhere. If I wanted to go, because I can't drive, if I wanted to go anywhere, I either had to ask someone to come out and pick me up or have my parents take me someplace. And by the time I was 18, that was just absolutely obnoxious. So I went to college so that I could actually have my own home and be out on my own in a sheltered environment that I could safely make mistakes and learn how to be an independent human. And I think that it turned out okay. While I was there, I took some painting and drawing classes, and I did that for 2 semesters, and I'm like, this is a huge fucking waste of time. The class syllabus wanted us producing art pieces that were supposed to be demonstrating techniques and skills, and I hated all of those projects. I was completely uninspired by the assignments, but yet I was supposed to be cultivating my creativity. And so it's like I don't want to produce. I want to learn art. I don't want these projects. I want attention. And I would have had to have gone to a really expensive fine art college to be able to get more one-on-one attention. So instead, I switched to HR. I switched to HR management, and then I dropped out and went into culinary school instead to become a chef. And I ended up hating that because if you really wanted to make progress in the chef industry, you need titles and you need acclaims and you need awards, and a lot of that stuff is politicking. It doesn't actually, if you make good food, great, but then you have to start politicking and selling yourself with the quality of food that you're making. I'm like, that just sounds like a whole lot of extra steps. So after 3 semesters of culinary school, I got pretty fucking good at cooking, and I dropped out, and I got a job at the best Italian restaurant in town, and became their prep cook, because I actually had experience in cooking, and I had some degrees, so I was able to land the job, and so I made cheesecakes and like would shuck 15 pounds of shrimp and would bread 10 pounds of zucchini and do all the inventory and lugging boxes into the cool room, and I did that for a number of years. That was a hell of a lot of fun. I eventually got into doing advertising and marketing, and now I do marketing analytics stuff for an advertising agency here in Seattle. So that's my day job. I do this. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Good enough. There. What's up? Yeah. I took all the art classes I could in high school. Anything that would allow me just to not have to worry about reading a book, I would take it. Okay, so let's. Jesus, that hand is so fucking ugly. What I want to do. I'm gonna duplicate this one. What time is it? 7:30. Okay. I've got 10-ish minutes. Pitter patter. I want to angle the thumb more towards the camera. It's a massive pain in the ass to do foreshortening like that, but it's what she wants. The muse demands it. She's pushing me. She's like, I see stuff here. I'm like, okay, babe. You know what? I feel like this needs a reference. Image. Holding hands over, warming hands over fire. Warming hands over fire. Just like that. That's the hand that I want. Here's a trick they teach you in art college. Copy. There's zero shame in grabbing references like this and making sure that you do it right. What's more important, that you provide the illustration that your client needs, or that you from memory can do this? The difference between this and already knowing what this pose looks like is experience. I don't have enough experience with a hand in this position for me to just reflexively know what it's supposed to look like. So when I find a pose that I'm unfamiliar with, I find a reference that matches the pose that I need so I can learn how to do it. If I use this pose often enough, I eventually won't need to use a reference image. But where I'm at right now, I need it. Otherwise, it's not going to get done correctly. Zero shame. It's not like I'm just going to paste it into place, say, hey, it's done. Look, I did it. No. I'm just going to use the outline and the curvature of the lines, and then I'm going to, like the little lines in the hands, I'm going to match it up with the colors that I need. Now all I want to do is make sure it's the right size. I'm actually going to bend it just a smidge. Bring it in a touch. See the size of his face. Bap.
There we go. That is actually exactly what I needed. Where am I at in this piece? Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Anything at all that you need to gank for posing, go ahead and do it. The only way you can learn is by taking. I'm gonna bring this up here like this actually. I like this song. There's that foreshortening. Let's curve this in. And he has a... like that. I hear you, timer.
How are we looking? 7:45?
Okay, I've got a few minutes. There it is. Like that. Like that. There we go. You got the meat of the hand like this. You got the external part here. Yeah, Epidemic Music has some pretty cool songs. There we go. I can clean this up a little bit. Like these joints are a little weird here. I want to block it in because I'll be able to start sculpting the line by smudging it around, getting into the proper position that I want. Just blocking it in like we do. I'm out of time. I'll finish this hand tonight. We'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll come back and let's. I'm gonna probably blunt this thumb a little bit, but so far so good. So far so good. I think it needs to be a smidge smaller. There we go. See, now we got proper gesturing going on. This will be good. So I'm going to finish up the hand tonight. When we come back tomorrow, we'll do this tree stump, the lighting effect, the radiance coming out of it, some highlights along here and across here, and on the hands here, some lighting, some backlighting here. Maybe like a squiggly thing. Who knows? Something, a little something. But otherwise, we'll finish it. We'll be done, and then so we'll finish this up tomorrow, and then the following day, which will be Thursday. On Thursday, we'll start a new piece. We'll probably do some monster illustrations for a little bit. So that's it for now, guys. I'm going to go ahead and kick on out of here. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me, Defected. I really appreciate you, Steve. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me. Everyone else that's out there in the audience lurking with us. I do this Monday through Fridays. In the morning, I do artwork like this, and then I do game design on Mondays and Thursday nights, and we do and then I run games on my Discord, which is linked down below, on Saturdays. So I'm going to kick out of here for now. I'll be back tomorrow morning, and I really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. See ya. Cheers.